blind items have been saying this for a while, but now there is a woman on Instagram who is accusing Saweetie of being a yacht girl. And for those of you who don't know what a yacht girl is, it's basically a girl who sells cookies, but she's not a Girl Scout.
You may not have heard of this young lady because I haven't either. Her name is Maybach Mayy. If you look at her Instagram, it doesn't seem like she has a whole lot of stuff popping. She just looks like the average chick with a BBL and a nice body, and nothing else is to be seen there, right? But that's what you think. Just because somebody don't have a whole lot of followers, it don't mean that they're not important in the industry. And according to this chick, she's more important than we think. Fast forward. Maybach Mayy is one of the largest madams in the industry. And what Maybach Mayy does is she connects a lot of beautiful women to rich men all over the world. She's going to Dubai, Lagos, Europe, wherever you think that the rich guys are at, she has them in her system. And a lot of girls want to deal with Maybach Mayy because she's the connection to all the guys with the money. And one of those ladies allegedly is Saweetie. Now, if you look at Saweetie's Instagram following, she got 12.4 million followers. Why would Saweetie be working with a lady that got 25,000 followers? Well, here's a story. Fast forward. Maybach Mayy had a connection with a guy by the name of Sancho. Now, he plays in the Premier European League. I think it's Manchester United. I'm not necessarily sure. But the guy makes a lot of money, like over $180,000 per week. And this dude is known for tricking on women. Like, he is known for spending a whole lot of money. So basically what Maybach Mayy did was say, listen, Saweetie, I got this dude, and he's a younger guy. He's like 21. And you know, Saweetie is closer to being like 30. So look, this young dude, if you deal with him, he'll spend money on you. But here's what you got to do. You got to pay me my money, and you know, whatever else you get from him, you can keep. But as long as I get my cut, I'm cool.
He's right, you know.
And here's a text messages even explaining that. Here it says, what you doing? We should do a big bear trip with good friends, group co-ed. Oh my God, it's so nice here. And even that code is 2 hours from LA. At the studio, girl, all my friends out of state. When bees run it up on Jadon, how much they doing in a weekend? Woo! Now, this is evidence, right? Fast forward. But here's what Saweetie did. She fell in love with Jadon, or got Jadon to fall in love with her. And so she ended up in a full relationship with Sancho. Now, Sancho ended up getting, you know, a tattoo of her, I think like on his neck or something like that. And basically they got into a full blown relationship and basically cut off Maybach Mayy. And so this is the problem at bay. Maybach Mayy is saying, listen, you owe me money and you was out here dealing with the dude that I set you up with, and now you don't want to pay me? Let's go back to that first text message. She goes, Sancho, after you done paying and getting tattoos of a 304, you barely know. Run me my money. She hates her career, so you come right on time like the trick you are. I just want what y'all owe me. So obviously Jadon didn't pay her, and Saweetie must have told him not to pay. Now, what else? Cocaine, witchcraft, and liquor is one hell of a mix. Send me my bread home record. Woo! Now, before I get into the rest of the screenshots, I kind of want to get into what Saweetie is kind of known for.
Saweetie is allegedly a yacht girl who makes far more money from yachting than she does from her music career. And according to this blind item, she allegedly has a substance abuse problem that is making her messy and causing her to lose yachting clients. And the blind item reads, this A-list Nepo baby, who's a rapper, singer, niece, cousin, and granddaughter of famous names, earns way more from yachting each week than from her actual music. But her substance habit has gotten out of control, and the messiness is driving clients away fast.
So Saweetie is known for being a yacht girl. So this is the girl who doesn't really advertise that they're selling cheeks, but they are selling cheeks. And again, this young lady already mentioned that Saweetie has a drug problem. And this other lady here is saying that, hey, Saweetie is out here clapping cheeks, and a lot of clients are tired of her and her drug issues. And she's not the only person to mention this sort of freestyling idea.
You need to build your brand up so that you're not known as a 304, because what men really like, they like freestylers better, okay? They don't want a girl to be posting ads online and stuff. No, they want to feel like they just stumbled across a beautiful woman, and for this price, they could have access.
So, you know, this lady has a good point. Like, people don't want you to be advertising your cheeks out there, but they want to know that you're down with the get down. And it gets even worse.
I'm not saying that her music is a cover-up. No, it's not a cover-up. She's an entertainer that goes along with it. So like a child actor grows up, then they're known for being a 304 all of a sudden, but not to regular people. As far as you guys know, they're just a singer, a dancer, an actor, a YouTuber, anything, an influencer. A lot of high-end 304s are actually influencers, and that's what builds your brand better. Why do you think I'm in so many people's YouTube videos? I'm on podcasts like Fresh and Fit. I'm in 20v1s with Kodak. It's all because it builds your persona, it builds your brand. So this way, when I say, hey, I want X amount, it makes sense because I'm an entertainer, I'm a celebrity.
Now, she's breaking down the whole playbook for influencers. If you look at somebody like Saweetie, she's always on like 20 versus 1 shows. She's always on like podcasts, the Fresh and Fit. Like, she moves around, and you don't really see a whole lot of the better rappers doing that, like Cardi B. And to be honest, Cardi B, you know, did mention that Saweetie was doing stuff like this. Remember that Saweetie was with Quavo, and then Saweetie ended up sleeping with Offset, which caused some tension between the whole Migos crew and all of that. Like, I mean, Saweetie just is down bad for real. Like, just down bad as hell. But check this out.
I have said it before, and I get crucified for it. People get so mad every single time I bring it up. But your favorite musicians are not very wealthy. Like, there's no money to be made in the music industry. A lot of them are broke. Some of the influencers on this app make more money than your favorite musicians. And the reason why, it's not just because, I think especially this applies especially like in hip hop, it's not just because they don't get paid that much. It's also because they get paid a decent amount. It's because their lifestyle is extremely expensive. Like, if you are in hip hop, part of being in hip hop is that you have to look rich. You have to pretend to be ultra wealthy, and living outside of your means is very expensive. It's not just like having a fancy house and owning cars, right? It's also like having a glam team all the time, having an agent, having a manager, having a social media person. All of that is very, very expensive. If in your mind, you thought Saweetie was affording all of that off of her music career when she's been in the game 10 years and has still not put out a debut album.
Now, this young lady mentioned something similar about your favorite influencers being broke. Now, for me, I'm looking at 12.4 million followers. I'm like, damn, you know, she must be doing good. But if you look at her lifestyle, she got to keep up that image, right? Like, that's how she got popular. Now, this is something that's interesting because somebody like me, as a YouTuber or a down bad influencer, like, I got, you know, popular because of my commentary. Nobody follows me because I need to be extravagant or opulent or fashion based. And this is why a lot of YouTubers end up having more money than influencers, because people tend to watch us for us, and we don't have a pressure of trying to be, you know, flashy or living a big lifestyle. That's the same thing with athletes. They don't have to actually live a rich lifestyle to be rich. Like Kawhi Leonard is a good example of that. But if you come in the game and you're a hot chick like Saweetie, you have a lifestyle, and if the money isn't coming in because the music industry doesn't pay it, you got to get that money somehow, all right? And so, and then also, she's never had a debut album, so you're not making money from music. So what are you making money from? But wait, there's more.
If you are ever trying to pocket watch your favorite celebrity and their musician specifically, right, you're trying to figure out if they're broke or not, all you have to do is check to see their endorsement deals, right? The more endorsement deals they have, the more paid they are. If you have a favorite celebrity, I'm not going to say no names, there's one in particular I'm thinking of, and they haven't had an endorsement deal in years, they're probably broke. And I'm going to leave that at that. Unless they own businesses and companies that are kept on the hush, 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 they're probably broke.
So this is an important distinction. Again, like, if you look at somebody and the brand deals that they have, this would indicate how much money they actually make. Now, this is something that we saw with Will Smith. once Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, he lost a lot of brand deals. Okay. And so this hurt him financially. Now, you already know his lifestyle is really up there. It's expensive. But to lose brand deals, which, I mean, again, I would assume that Saweetie has a lot of brand deals, or maybe she doesn't. But if you don't have those brand deals, and those brand deals pay a lot of money, it's kind of how you make cash in the industry. And so if you somehow lose that, you lose it all. Okay, and this is kind of what's happening with Saweetie. She doesn't really have brand deals. Okay, so if you don't have brand deals, you're not a podcaster, you're not really working a lot. You got to make that money, because this industry for music is not really there. And, YouTubing is there, but YouTubing is hard. People can say, well, why don't you start a podcast? A lot of people have podcasts. It's still hard. It's not easy, doing this work every day. So, the quickest way to do that is, if you were going to sleep with somebody anyway, it was to go ahead on and basically pay to get the cheeks clapped. And it goes back to what the manosphere guys have always taught, that certain ladies are always for sale. It doesn't matter. Like, a lot of girls, you know what? Let me just say this. Fast forward. I know so many ladies who are IG influencers, especially in this part of the world. And again, they're like yacht girls. They out here, living it up. They may have a few brand deals, but trust me, like, they can barely pay their rent. They can barely pay for electricity. They need hair, they need makeup. They constantly have to live in that lifestyle, going to dinner, going to 4 Points. That might be going to dinner, going to hotels, things like that. It costs money to keep playing like that, being out. And, when you pop in bottles, you buying Don Julio in the club, somebody got to pay for that. And somebody got to pay for their food every day. You get chicks that look so good and they're begging for KFC, like literally begging for KFC. You would never think that a chick that has a big following on TikTok or Instagram is that broke, but so many chicks don't really have money like that. And this is why, like, dudes who are consistent and they may have a good business, you would have a shot. Like, literally, if you were willing to pay, you would have a shot at these cheeks. I'm just being real. You would be able to go head on and get that clapping off. You might not think so, but oh yes, it happens a lot. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Dude Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.
After watching this video, I do hope young girls can stop, stressing themselves about the Instagram likes and Instagram comments and, trying to be something they're not. Because, like I said so many times, so many Instagram models and this so-called Instagram models, they're doing things that most girls cannot do. They're going to places that I don't think a lot of people want to do what they do. But you see their lifestyle on Instagram and you think you're missing out in life. Or you see their lifestyle and you think you're not doing better in life. And this is a big problem. This is why you see a lot of young girls doing BBL and Botox, and they're putting themselves under dangerous cosmetic surgery because, they think, most of these young girls think, if I can just get 5 million followers, I can get 20 million followers and my life is going to be better. But the problem is, those followers and those subscribers is not going to do nothing for you if those brand deals are not coming in. It's not YouTube. YouTube is different. If you got people who support you and subscribe to your channel and they're willing to listen to you and they're willing to support you, it's different. But YouTube is hard. I'm still grinding. I got like 200 and something followers, but it takes time. You got to keep grinding and grinding for you to get there. Instagram is not the same. You could post something on Instagram today and it has 1 million views and 2 million likes and shit. And boom, you got 100K subscribers. But those subscribers don't do shit for you. They don't do nothing. Because at the end of the day, if the brand deals are not coming in, you're not making nothing. And someone like Saweetie or whatever her name is, what kind of music she make? I don't think I ever listened to any of her music. I don't even know her popular music. I don't know what she's saying. So I don't know what kind of genre of music she's saying. I don't know. I've never listened to her music one time. But yet she's flaunting all this wealth and on social media and all this shit and flaunting all these expensive cars and shit. It's crazy. And people gonna think, yo, she's living the life, but she's doing a lot of things. She's a yard girl. You know what to do with these yard girls? We all know what to do with these girls in Dubai. Everybody knows by now. This is why I tell so many young females, like, stop stressing yourself, man. There's so many things y'all don't know, man. There's so many things these people do that you cannot do as a young woman. You don't need to be stressing about people's lives. Just focus on your life. Most of these so-called Instagram models, they're lazy as fuck. They're not willing to do the hard work to get what they want. They got the beauty and they got the BBL and they're ready to go. They're ready to go. I don't think you as a reasonable young female wants to do that. And you can notice I'm not talking about men because men, we got our own problems too. And we fall for the scam of this so-called, finance gurus and all this shit. Women fall for these lifestyles and shit. That's why I say Instagram likes and Instagram comments. This shit is not gonna put money on your table, man. Money in your bank account. Yeah, it makes you look good. It makes you feel like you're popular, but you're still hustling. That's why I decided to do YouTube because I know it's gonna be hard. But if I can scale through and keep consistent and keep doing it, maybe one day, I hope so. So this Saweetie or whatever her name is, she's just another Instagram model fly to Dubai and get used and dumped. The painful part about the whole situation is this popular soccer player, what's his name? Sancho or whatever. He got a tattoo of her. I'm like, how stupid can you be? How dumb can you be? There's so many good women out there. It's crazy why some of these popular soccer players or basketball players, you see them doing stupid shit with this so-called Instagram models and shit. Drawing tattoos of them on their body and they're like billions of women they could pick from. But they're gonna keep picking the same woman, these fucking prostitutes. So I don't know, man. I'm not surprised by she being exposed for, whatever she does. I'm not surprised. She's not the first girl that's been exposed, and I'm not surprised she's part of this crew. Who's surprised about that? Every time you see all these girls, so-called Instagram models, go to Dubai regularly, that's what they go there do. Like 90% of the time. 90%. You don't see any reasonable woman just wake up and say, I'm going to Dubai. Trust me. I've never seen any woman that has a brain on their head, that got a good brain. I'm not saying they can't, but Dubai is usually not their destination. They go to other places, but Dubai. But when you see most people who go to Dubai, especially these Instagram so-called models, they're usually these Instagram girls, call themselves Instagram baddies and shit. It's usually these girls. They have a crew, they got groupies and shit. Only a few percentage of normal women will make Dubai a destination because Dubai is not really a place for a lot of people. It's expensive. It's a waste of time. It's hot as fuck. It's not to do that. But if you're one of this Instagram baddie and you get sponsored, you got flown out, of course you're gonna go there. Of course you're gonna go there. But am I surprised she's a fucking prostitute? No, I'm not. Because she's not. I don't think she'd make any album. I've never listened to any popular song she got. I don't think she's known for music. She's always known for controversies like who she's dating or maybe OnlyFans. I don't know. That's what she's popular for. So if you're a young female out there, you see all this so-called Instagram baddie, you're stressing yourself about it, trust me, it's not what it looks like. And there's so many fitness people who do the same shit. It could be your favorite fitness influencer. It could be your favorite rapper. It could be your favorite health and wellness, whatever. So don't copy, don't try to feel jealous for people's lives. Just concentrate on your own life. Trust me, you're doing way better than you think. But anyway, man, I don't know what y'all think about the situation. Let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section, man. Please like and subscribe to my channel, man. I'm out of here.